It's your journaling partner, Rianna DeHart, and welcome back to the show. Today we are nice and cozy in my living room because we are going to talk about fall today and how to get ready and excited for fall. It's already fall. Fall has started. But I feel like October, you're ready to dive in. You're done with summer and you're preparing for Halloween, so you just want to get into that mood, and it's gonna go by so fast. So we need to enjoy this time. And I feel like I didn't fully appreciate fall when I was growing up. I think there are two reasons. One is because I grew up in the Midwest, and so there was only one weekend that felt like real autumn. Like the weather was perfect and you got to play in the leaves and enjoy the pumpkin patch and stuff, and then bam, it feels like winter. It's too cold to be outside and the weather is just so random that you just start thinking about other things instead of being present in the season. The other reason is because I did always start listening to Christmas music before Halloween. I know, I might have just called myself out there, but it's true, and I gotta speak the truth here. I would always start listening to Christmas music, playing the movies, just getting into the Christmas spirit because it brought me so much joy. So like, why would I not do that? And now I have gained an appreciation for everything that comes with fall as well, that, you know, I wait till after Thanksgiving to start the Christmas music. And I just feel like autumn is such a great reminder that change can be beautiful. It's the perfect time to reflect on how your year has been going, to then let go of everything that you've been holding on to, maybe some anger or stress or anything that you're overthinking about. With the leaves changing and falling from the trees, it's such a good example of how it's okay to let go, because you know that the leaves will grow again and new things will happen and good things will happen in the future. The last part of why fall is so amazing is that it's a great time for you to get ready for the last part of the year and for all of the holidays. And I feel like there's so much rush happening at the end of the year that the end of September and October feels like the perfect time to relax and slow down. Now, before I start talking about my journaling part of this episode, I just want to give you guys more reasons why fall is so amazing. If you don't already think it's amazing, or it's not already your favorite season, we just need to dive into all of it. First, it brings the perfect weather, the 60s to 70s, so it's not too warm, it's not too cold, it's just perfect with nice cool winds, and a lot of the days, you know, the sun is shining, so it feels like you're getting a nice warm hug from the sun while you're still feeling that crisp air. Yeah, weather, chef's kiss. I am definitely enjoying it a lot more now that I live in Georgia. Fall lasts a lot longer here. The next thing is the colors of nature. All the beautiful colors of how it changes from green to the oranges and yellows, and it makes me want to go outside so much more because of the mixture of the beauty of nature and the nice weather. I just always want to be outside, and being outside makes me feel mentally and physically so much better every time that I do it. Next are the vibes. I feel like fall just always gives cozy, crisp, warm vibes and magical vibes. I might be biased because it's my favorite season, but I feel like it always brings a little bit of magic. Because of Halloween happening, it allows for all of these stories to come back up. So you want to watch all of the movies about witches and wizards, and like right now I'm reading Harry Potter and I get to feel that magic, which is so fun. The last thing is the activities and traditions that come with fall. The biggest one is Halloween. And I say traditions, I include traditions in this because Halloween became a tradition for me. Like every year, me, my sister, and two of our childhood best friends who we lived 2 houses down from, we would always dress up in costume and go trick-or-treating together around the neighborhoods. And after trick-or-treating, we would always finish the night with watching a movie or movies. We had to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. That was a must. And we, of course, got to enjoy our candy or any sweet treats that we got to make. And then when we got older and we didn't want to trick-or-treat, we still kept that tradition of watching The Nightmare Before Christmas and enjoying sweet treats together, which it just brings me so much joy. And now every Halloween I have to watch that movie and just enjoy the night, and especially enjoy it with them. So it's been a little sad growing up more. I haven't had the opportunity to do it every single year because the 4 of us haven't been all together on Halloween every single year. And I'm really excited because this year I'm visiting home again, so I'll get to enjoy that tradition, which is so fun. So hold on to that because traditions become so special, and I feel like some years you're not always going to be able to enjoy a tradition the exact way every single year, so enjoy it while you can and embrace it while you can. Now, the other activities I will talk about in a little bit, because a great way to get yourself excited and ready for fall is through journaling and through reflection and just having fun with crafts. Now, that being said, the reflection and the crafts, it doesn't have to be done in a journal. So if journaling isn't what you're feeling right now, don't worry about it. Like, you can reflect in so many different ways than writing it down. You can reflect just in your head and having some quiet time for yourself while you answer those questions, or you can speak out your thoughts into a voice memo. And then for crafts, you can make crafts just on a little piece of paper or poster board, or make something to hang up in your apartment or your house. It doesn't always have to be in the journal. That is just what I'm preferring right now, is keeping it all together in my journal. So just letting you know and reminding you that you have the ability to adjust these ideas that I'm about to give you. So I have 6 fall journaling ideas that I'm so excited to talk about. The first thing is to make a bucket list. All of these are specifically for the season of fall. So just focus on what you want to do within these next couple months. Now, this includes the activities that I was talking about before. So you can include like going apple picking, or to a pumpkin patch, or to any fall festival that's happening. I feel like a lot of fall festivals happen maybe at like vineyards or farmers markets. There are arts and crafts festivals. Just seeing what's going on in your community can be so fun and bring you closer to the people that you live around. For me, I really am so excited. I have to go to Oktoberfest. There is an Oktoberfest that happens in this town called named Helen. That's like a couple hours away, I think, from me. And I'm so excited because it's a cute little German town. I've never been there, but I feel like the vibes are just gonna be so perfect for fall. So I'm really excited to go experience that. Those, I feel like, can get a little pricey, and we want to make sure that our bucket list here is not gonna hurt or break our budget, right? So if those things feel a little bit too expensive right now, think about other alternatives of having a girls' night or just hanging out with your friends and having a fun spooky movie night, making little sweet treats, like making the little Pillsbury sugar cookies that have the ghost or pumpkin like printed on it. It's so cute. I recently made cookies where it was chocolate chip on the bottom and then I put the Pillsbury sugar cookie on top. Beautiful. You need to try it. And then there's also things like going to a coffee shop or to a bookstore, or if you don't have enough self-control to go into those spaces and not buy a bunch of things, like if I go into a bookstore, I'm definitely buying a book. So if you need to go into a space where you can still enjoy the fall season outside of your apartment or outside of your house without feeling the need to spend money, going to your local library is such a fun idea because you are just surrounded with books, which brings that cozy vibe, and you can enjoy that space without feeling the pressure to buy anything. The next thing that you could add is your watch list. So any movies or TV shows that you want to watch this season, so any of your spooky horror movies, or the movies that I really like are the nostalgic Halloween movies. So you got Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus, The Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, and like Girl vs. Monster. Love that one. It's so cringy, so Disney Channel, but I love it. Like, I have to watch it every year. Or think about what TV shows do you want to watch? Like the moody ones, right? So watching or rewatching Vampire Diaries or Pretty Little Liars, they're moody. And I feel like it just fits the vibe of autumn. But then there's also like Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls, I feel like, is the perfect fall show to watch for sure. The next thing you could add is your TBR, so what you want to read. For me, I'm currently reading the Harry Potter series, and it's perfect because I am now on the 7th, which is the last book, and I love that I get to enjoy it this season because I feel like with Harry Potter and the witches and wizards, it's so fall. Just that magic that I was talking about earlier, it definitely is so fun to enjoy in this season. I'm also reading the Fourth Wing series. I just finished the first book and I'm obsessed. I immediately went to my library and got the next book once I finished reading it. So yeah, I have it's Iron Flame. I think that's the second book. Yeah. So I have Iron Flame and then the 7th Harry Potter book to read, which they're both thick. They're thick books. So for knowing myself, I take longer to read. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna fill my season. Maybe I'll go past my goal. I'm not really sure, but that's what I'm gonna add to my bucket list. And then lastly, just thinking about things to do. Things that you want to do within these next couple 2-3 months, like getting your Halloween costume together. That's something you have to do. Most years I would wait closer to Halloween to figure out my costume, which then means having to just throw something together, or the costume doesn't end up being exactly what I want it to be. So do it now. Like, this is your reminder to start thinking about it now. I just bought all the stuff for my Halloween costume. I'm so excited because I'm actually gonna have it a couple weeks before Halloween happens. So like, I have time, and if something that I ordered doesn't fit perfectly or whatever, then I have time to figure out how to adjust, which so nice to get rid of that little stressor. Let's see, other things that you could do could be trying to focus on saving money. So that's just something that you want to complete this season, is to make sure you're focusing on saving intentionally. And then maybe another thing is you want to try some fall recipes to switch up what you're eating every single week. Because I feel like for me, I get so used to what I'm eating. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna repeat these meals. But I feel like when the season changes, it's fun to try different things or bring back old recipes. Like, I just recently made shepherd's pie for the first time since last winter, because I feel like it's such a fall and winter meal. So thinking about those meals that maybe didn't go with summer, right? It's soup season, guys. So maybe try a soup that you've been wanting to have, and maybe incorporating those fall-esque foods like pumpkin or cinnamon, stuff like that could be really fun. My next idea is to make a fall dopamine menu. Now, this is kind of like my keep in mind list that I talk about in my doom scroll detox episode. So you could get some ideas from that episode. But I saw someone make this on TikTok, and I found that it came from this other podcast. I really hope I'm saying her name right, but her name's Peyton Sartan. Sorry if I say that incorrectly, but I think it's Peyton Sartan's podcast. She talked about this dopamine menu and kind of broke it down, and I thought it was such a cute idea. So first, she has appetizers, which are tasks or little things you can do that take about 5 to 10 minutes. So this could be journaling and doing some reflection, maybe in the morning, or doing a little extra face mask during your skincare routine. Just something that you don't already do every single day that brings a little extra joy to your day. Then you have your entrees. So that would be tasks and fun things to do that are probably going to take 45 plus minutes. So this could be like calling a friend or watching a movie or taking time to read. Again, things that you don't always allow yourself to do because you don't think it's worthy of doing or you're not being productive. But taking care of yourself and adding these joyful things into your life, that is productive and good to add to your day. The next two things are your sides and your desserts. So the sides are tasks that you can do while doing other tasks, like habit stacking. So if you put on a show while you're cleaning your apartment or putting on a podcast while cleaning your apartment, you just added that and you're, stacking that together so you can complete two things at once. Or I do enjoy, this might be slightly dangerous, but I like reading when I'm walking on the treadmill. I don't go that fast. I'll put it on 2 speed. So it's slower than a average walking pace. And the last thing is the desserts. So these are your indulgences. So stuff that you don't always allow yourself to go do or go buy. So maybe you want to buy yourself a sweet treat or go shopping for the afternoon or take a little day trip or weekend trip. Just something extra special that maybe does cost a little bit more money than you were thinking you were going to spend that week. But I think it's fun to add those things into your life because you don't want to hold yourself back from doing the things that you enjoy. So yeah, that seems like such a fun spin on the keep in mind list. And the way that they were making it on TikTok, it was just so cute how they incorporated fall. Because it's a menu, they added pictures of an apple pie and a pumpkin and a pumpkin spice latte on there. Like, it was super cute. The next thing is to make an autumn playlist. So I feel like there are certain artists and maybe genre of music to listen to in each season. I feel like it always changes for me what I'm listening to throughout the year. So first off, Noah Kahan. I love Noah Kahan so much. He's one of my favorite artists, and I feel like I don't listen to him that much during summer and spring because he fits the fall and winter vibes so much more. And so I'm so excited to start listening to his music again. I still listen to like some of the songs, but like I am like all in, like only Noah Kahan every single day. I love that folk and more alternative sound during the fall. And then also like 50s and 60s music, like the song September in the Rain. I think the one that I listen to is by Diana Washington. I don't know if she was the original singer, or I feel like a lot of artists have covered that song. But that era of music makes me feel like I'm being transported to New York, and it just makes me feel classy and so fancy when I'm listening to it. So that type of music is one of my favorites to listen to in the fall, especially like when I'm cleaning or trying to just go through my day and be productive. It adds to that motivation for me for some reason. And then of course you have to have like your spooky vibe music. So like Calling All the Monsters, if you don't know that song, go listen to it. It's a Disney Channel song by China Anne McClain, or she sang it. And that's just like an OG song that needs to be played every spooky season. Then there's also like Monster Mash, which is also an OG song. And then songs like that are pop songs but give spooky vibes. So like The Monster by Rihanna and Eminem. And then I think that's him. Yeah, I think he's on it. And then also like Heathens by 21 Pilots. That just gives spooky. So I feel like all of those types of songs are so perfect to play this season. And maybe you want to split it up. Maybe it's like warm, cozy fall vibe playlist and then like spooky Halloween playlist. But creating that playlist would be so fun, and you can just write it out in your journal to remember like what are your top songs this season, and then also creating it on your Spotify or Apple Music, whatever you use, would just be such a fun little activity to do and to get you in the mood. So the next thing is vision boards. I made a vision board for the fall season specifically, so not the whole year, which I feel like is usually what people make. Making it at the beginning of January for the entire year. I feel like sometimes that can get overwhelming to see a vision board that's set for 12 months. And sometimes it's fun to make a smaller vision board to focus on the season that you're in, because life changes and maybe your goals will change too. So this is my little vision board. So I had a girls' night and we all created our own vision boards for the season. We did it on the first night of fall, which was so fun, just starting the season off right. And I kind of just collected all of the leftover pictures I had from when I made my New Year's vision board at the beginning of 2025. So I had some pictures left over, and of course I wanted to create my mood board of what I want this season to feel like. So I have pictures of hanging out with friends, watching the sunset, focusing on stretching, skincare, getting good sleep, and like having good habits of keeping my apartment clean and drinking water. And then I put this little cute picture of myself from when I was younger, and I found this sticker that says, "It's a good day to be proud of how far you've come." I've had this sticker for over a year, and I never knew where I wanted to put it. Like, did I want to put it in my journal? Did I want to put it on my water bottle or my computer? Because it's such a good message to think about and come back to. And once I found this photo of me from when I was young, it clicked. I just knew like this was the moment that I wanted to use this sticker and put it on this vision board, because I feel like this last year, there's been a lot of change and growth in this year for me. So this was just the perfect moment to use it. And the colors match perfectly for fall colors. It's all different shades of orange. And then at the bottom here, I wrote a tiny note to myself just to admire and reflect on how far I've come, and just to remind myself to be present in this season. And of course, I added these cute little pumpkins right next to my letter. But yeah, so right now I have it just on this piece of paper because I want to keep it out where I can see it in my apartment, and I want to keep this out for the whole season. And then once the season is over, then I will put this little poster board in my journal. I'll just like glue it in there so that I can come back and look at it in the future. Okay, and the last idea is to make an ins and outs list. I feel like this became a trend a couple of years ago, but I really love it because it makes you reflect on what you are currently doing, but you would like to stop doing. So any type of habits, like procrastinating or not going to sleep at a reasonable hour, so you always end up getting bad sleep, which is currently what I'm doing. Those type of things, it allows you to reflect and identify those habits that you would like to adjust or change or get rid of. And then picking the ins would be what you want to add to your life that you haven't gotten to, or that you just discovered and think it would be a great idea to add to your life. So let me show you what I created for my fall ins and outs. They turned out so cute. I'm really proud of myself here. I made some puns out of this. So I have this page and it's titled Leaf It Out. So we're leaving these things out of this season, okay? And I drew a little leaf, an orange leaf, and I cut it out and I wrote down 4 things that I want to take out of my life. I put scrolling before bed, so no doom scrolling. I am so over it, but I just keep doing it. So I really want to focus on reducing that. You can reduce that by instead listening to something so you're not looking at the screen, because I feel like when you look at the screen, that's what keeps you on the screen, just being stimulated by that. Or what I'm probably going to do every night is read. Just taking 20-30 minutes to read before I go to sleep will be so nice, because I'm still stimulated by reading, but it's not the same way as being stimulated by the bright screen and social media. The next thing is procrastinating. I feel like there are so many things that I want to accomplish and that I'm focusing on outside of work, outside of my full-time job, and it can get hard when I'm exhausted from work, but I still want to put the work in, and I want to do the best that I can at these other things in my life and other projects. So not procrastinating is what I would like to work on, so I can feel like I'm really on top of my work and confident in what I'm doing. Let's see, the next thing is giving up on yourself. I don't want to give up on myself. I feel like there's so many days where my mood will just fluctuate between I'm super excited and super confident in what I'm doing and who I am, and then immediately switches to why did I make this move out to this big city? Why am I going for the career of acting? Like, all the thoughts. I just feel like I'm always bouncing between the good and the bad thoughts, and I would just like to stay steady with the good thoughts and, believing in myself. And then the last thing I wrote is staying up past midnight. Mostly talking about like when I have an early morning or when I know I'm working the next day. I definitely don't want to stay up past midnight. I probably should put 11 p.m. But life does happen. I have just been really struggling with going to sleep at a good time, which then makes me super tired the next day. So getting better at like having that night routine will be really nice. Just so I can enjoy getting up in the morning, and instead of just laying in bed until like 10-15 minutes before I have to get to work, and then I'm scrambling to get out the door. Like, I hate that feeling. But yeah, I really love this page. I took a part of the Chipotle bag that I had and I crumpled it up and added it in here, and it kind of looks like tree branches, which goes perfectly with the 2 leaves that I cut out. And then in the background, I ripped out this page from a book that I like don't care about, and I crumpled it up and I made it the background of this page and added some fall colors to it just to tie it all together, and I think it's so cute. So yeah, have fun with creating your out page. My next page is for all of the ins. I did an apple picking page, so I titled it Apple Pick Ins. I'm so punny. I added 5 ins for this season. I want to be consistent with workouts. I want to save money intentionally. I want to focus on self-love, and that just really ties into being nicer to myself and believing in myself. Then I have improving sleep hygiene, so that's like figuring out my night routine and how I can get to sleep on time with avoiding the doom scrolling. And then last is to have confidence in my film producing, because that's one of the projects that I am currently starting, and it's something brand new to me. So I'm just really excited to go into it with confidence and without procrastinating. But yeah, I think this page turned out really cute too. I made a flannel pattern as the background, and this is my first time drawing out a flannel pattern. I literally had to look up the steps of how to create it, but I just looked it up on Pinterest. And so I picked some reds and orange colors to create the flannel pattern, and then I cut out a little basket that I drew on brown paper, and then on red paper I drew some apples and wrote my 5 ends on each apple, and I added them to this little basket, so it looks like I just picked some apples, and turned out so cute. If you're gonna make this, don't put too much pressure on how many you're gonna add, because it is for a season. So you don't want to overwhelm yourself with how many things you're putting into your life and taking out of your life. When making goals, it's hard to focus on so many at once. So if you just want a couple outs and a couple ins, that's perfectly fine. I have seen lists a lot longer than this too. I feel like that's mostly for when people are making it at the beginning of the year and they're thinking about all of the things they want to add or remove for the entirety of the year for those 12 months. So that's just a longer time period. So yeah, just choose what feels right for you. and I chose 4 outs and 5 ins because that's just what came up for me in the moment of making it. But those are my 6 ideas. I thought they incorporated a little bit of reflecting and letting go, as well as preparing for the season without it being just journaling prompts, just a straight up question. Because I love journaling prompts, and there will be multiple episodes where I'm giving questions and answering them with you guys. But I thought it would be fun to add a twist of a little craftiness, because I feel like that's a part of fall, is being crafty and enjoying the coziness and the nostalgia. So that is what these ideas felt like for me. I hope you guys like these ideas. Let me know if you do any of them. If you're watching the video version, as you saw, I only did the ins and outs pages and then my vision board. So I am definitely gonna do the other ideas. I am so excited to create my perfect autumn playlist. That's probably the next thing that I'm gonna do. I will be doing all of these. Have so much fun with this, and I hope that you enjoy the fall season. I know I will. Have such a good day and such a good week, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Bye!